Batman, fun fact, I didn't know this, but apparently women can do a lot of things and be funny. Who knew? Ghostbusters is directed by Paul Feig, a director that I absolutely love. His movies, Bridesmaid, Spy, the other one with McCarthy, The Heat. He makes great movies. I love his movies. I am excited for all of his movies. Most of the time, they star all the women, including from this movie, who we got Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, newcomers from SNL, we got Leslie Jones, Kate McKinnon. They are the new Ghostbusters, and they're out to bust some ghosts. Whoa! What a way to say bust some ghosts. Really backwards on this one. Not gonna add it, going through. So this new Ghostbusters movie is one that a lot of people have been hating on. I don't know why. I have no idea why so many people hate on women and just want this movie to fail. Whatever. I honestly haven't been all that excited for it. It has nothing to do with the women or whatever. It's just, I really was never a huge fan of Ghostbusters. I know. I never really... I'm not even entirely sure if I've seen the first one. I know I've seen the second one, parts, I don't know. I've never seen these movies. I was never a huge fan, and I really just didn't care going into this movie. The trailers didn't get me all that excited. But you know what? I go into movies and I get excited for them. And what I'll say about this movie is that it really goes for it. It tries to be as funny as it can be. It really knows what tone it's going for. Paul Feig's such a good director. All the actresses in this movie they're all really, really great actresses, and they know how to be funny. They know how to work well with each other. You could definitely tell with Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig. And they went for this crazy, over-the-top tone, and that totally worked for me if the movie delivered on its laughs. But did it do that? For me, I say no. The big glaring problem with this movie for me is that it's just not funny enough. I'm not really entirely sure how much this was supposed to be just a straight kind of comedy, but with the tone that it went with, I feel like this was a pretty over-the-top crazy comedy, and the things that worked well with it were the acting with Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig. All the acting, they were funny in parts. The special effects, everything looked good. The directing, I felt he did a good job with the tone. And then some of the action scenes were really well done. It was really cool to look at. But besides that, the movie was so over the top and crazy and ridiculous that it was such a comedic tone, but it just didn't have enough laughs for me to not care about any of that stuff. If this movie was hilarious and made me go crazy and belly laugh and really go crazy and tear up because how much I'm laughing, I would have no problem with it overtopping, saying crazy, stupid characters. But the movie wasn't all that funny, for me at least. I wasn't really all that laughing. There was definitely parts where I snickered, or that was a funny line. But overall, throughout the whole thing, there might have been 5 times that I chuckled, or that made me smile, or that was a funny line. There was no consistency. There was nothing that was really hilarious in this thing, and that really bummed me out because I liked the tone they went with for this thing, and I feel like it's the right tone because it's it's a ridiculous plot. It's insane, but when it's ridiculous and insane, it has to pay off with the laughs, and it just didn't for me. That's the biggest negative to this movie, and that's what made me feel like it's just really not all that great of a movie. In fact, I don't think it's a very good movie at all. For me, I kind of rate this movie as a pretty bad comedy. I haven't really seen that many great comedies this year, but this is definitely one of the least favorite because I liked the tone and everything that went into it, but and the story was kind of cool, they all come together and they're trying to fight the ghost and whatever. But it's so ridiculous and over the top, it just didn't pay off with the laughs. And it didn't pay off at the rate that other comedies this year have. A lot of other comedies this year have been bad movies, but they at least made me laugh at a lot of different parts. This thing really didn't. It really, I was disappointed because I love Paul Feig. I think he's a great director. I love these actresses. And I feel like they really could have capitalized on this new reboot, which I'm glad they went with a reboot instead of just a continuation, because for someone like me, I'd never seen the original. A lot of kids were in the theater. They've never seen the original, so they're kind of reintroducing it to a new audience. But I feel like at this point it might have been better to just make it like a continuation of the old Ghostbusters, because they put everybody from the originals in this, but they put them in these stupid cameos that show up every 5 minutes, and then from what I know about the Ghostbusters, it really they make the original Ghostbusters these ridiculous characters that like kind of betray who they were from the original movies. I don't know. I didn't really get a kick out of the cameos like I thought I would. I didn't get a kick out of the comedy. I wasn't like, the thing was, it was so ridiculous and over the top that I started like nitpicking that and like, really being over-analyzing things that I shouldn't be, because that's the tone that it's going for, but because it wasn't funny, I had to focus on something, and so I was focusing on all the stupid, ridiculous things that were happening, and it made me like the movie less and less and less, and overall, it's a movie that I really think could have been a lot better, especially with all the talent that was involved, but overall, this movie really is not a very good movie in my opinion. If it was a lot funnier, I feel like it could have been a good movie, but it just wasn't funny enough for me. Let me know what you guys think if you see it, if you think it's funny or not. For me, I didn't think so. I'm going to have to go 1.5 out of 5 for the Ghostbusters, or Ghostbusters, who are going to call, whatever they're calling this thing, Ghostbusters for girls. I know. It's just Ghostbusters. Who are you going to call? Okay, anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this and you want to see more reviews from a guy like me, Tom Waterloo, then please like and share this video, leave a comment down below, and most importantly, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.